Assalamu alaikum. I'm Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. I wanted to bring my love and joy and support to Islamic Relief during this Ramadan season. Ramadan Mubarak to all of you.
Let us salute Islamic Relief USA for living up to the calling of this holy month, helping local organizations, providing food security, health care, and financial assistance to struggling communities and resettled refugees.
Our Muslim American community has been on the front lines in Florida's 9th Congressional District and other areas of the nation to help us recover.
I'm grateful for all the work they are doing in my district and around the world.
Islamic Relief USA is constantly working together for a better world.
Your charitable efforts to help reduce hunger, educate refugees, and assist survivors of domestic abuse embody the noble values that are honored in Ramadan.
Your work to put the Muslim values of community and charity into action has helped not only provide food, but also healthcare, financial assistance, and many more hit hardest by this pandemic.
Islamic Relief USA and the Muslim American community in my district has lived those values to the fullest these last 2 years.
Thank you to Islamic Relief USA for the work you do to lift the voices of Muslims all around the world.
As we continue to fight for a more just and more tolerant world, I am honored to be your partner in Congress.
It's this community care that binds us as a global human family.
We are better for all that you have contributed and the difference that you make.
I wish you and all of my Muslim brothers and sisters a blessed month of peace and spiritual renewal.
May peace and love be brought upon you. Ramadan Mubarak.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Moss, host of the SOS, the Shout Out Show. Thank you for continuing to support this platform. Got a couple notes I want to give out. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the family, my main man, DJ K Slay out of New York, King, the Drama King, one of the originators of the mixtapes out of New York. Didn't know him, just loved his work. I loved his story, and I was taken aback that he succumbed to COVID after a battle over a couple months. So peace and blessings to Brother K Slay's family, and may your work continue to reverberate throughout the community. People say that he was a guardian of the culture, and I do agree. Also, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Yvonne Sion, who will be having knee replacement surgery tomorrow. You know that we have your back. Duas up to you and the rest of the family. Hope that everything it goes well, your recovery goes smoothly, and your rehab goes flawlessly as well. So that's what we got right now, brothers and sisters. The topic I'm going to talk about today is problematic, and for a couple reasons. Number one, this is not new. You can see the topic is Quran burning in 2022. And I put really. But there's two reasons why I put really. Number one, because Quran burnings are not very effective in terms of provoking any dialogue or getting any place in terms of, I want to say, power structure, trying to be a part of the power structure. That doesn't happen. But number two, the one thing that does happen is we get a lot of our brothers and sisters, mostly brothers, who are all in their emotions, get all in their emotions and want to go out and do destructive things in the name of protecting the Quran. You can't have the both. You can't have both of them, brothers and sisters. If we are a religion of peace, then the book is a book about peace, a book about continuity, a book about community. Over and over and over again, you know, and we're talking about this situation in Sweden that happened over the weekend. If we do our due diligence, and you know I try to do that here on the Shout Out Show, if we do our due diligence, you begin to understand that the people and the perpetrators of these efforts are not creative. I've told people time and time and time again that white supremacy here, abroad, wherever there's an effort to suppress and oppress people for their religion or their color or their race, whatever, you're going to continually run into people who are not creative. The idea that burning a Quran is going to somehow affect the way that I think about the Quran, it's not going to happen. We had it down in Florida a couple years ago, where a man announced that he was going to burn a Quran, and everybody got upset and we cried and da-da-da. I'm like, look, here's the game, huh? If that's what you want to do with the Quran and that's what you want to do with your life, dude, you need that Quran. You burning up your meal ticket. I feel like Bill Cosby. Meal ticket. You were burning up your meal ticket. And that one piece of salvation that takes you off that road of misery. That all racists are miserable people, just so you know that. I never met a happy racist like, I just burned the cross. Who wants to go to Denny's? Nobody is like that. These are miserable people. They live miserable lives. So it doesn't matter here in the United States or Sweden. And it's always something that's underlying. Okay. If you do your homework, and it's not hard to do homework because everything is on Instagram and Wikipedia and stuff like that. And you can Google and find out what folks are and what they've been doing. You'll find that these people have a lot more problems other than burning the Quran. This is the least of their problems. In fact, this is a distraction. Let me throw this out here. There's a man over in Sweden over this weekend. He decided that, hey, I am going to burn Qurans. Now, his strategy is to burn Qurans in areas where they have high populations of Muslims and high populations of immigrants. His political party is called the Hard Line, and the Hard Line advocates against Muslims, the anti-Muslim and the anti-immigrant. Well, why can't you go to a place where there are no immigrants and there are no Muslims and state your case? And find a compelling argument for people who may believe you and come out in broad daylight and support you. It doesn't happen. This is the oldest trick in the book. You have people who need your participation. They need your raw emotion and animalistic behavior to justify that's what I'm talking about. And over and over and over again, we get sucked into it. Listen, we have a tradition that says we can't play that way. We have a tradition that says we've been through this before. We're going through so many things in the world that have nothing to do with Islam, but they do because we care about the human condition. But we have so many things that are outside the scope of what we do as believers that, yeah, at some point in time, it does affect us. But for this one right here, stop giving a whole lot of energy to the game. Listen, I told a guy one time, we were in an argument, and I realized he had no point, and I walked away. And he said, where you going? I said, I'm done. He said, I'm not through yet. I said, that's my point right there. You done lost your damn mind. Why am I going to sit there and argue with somebody that doesn't have a point? Why am I going to give you a platform? Why am I going to give you energy? Because all that is marking up the fact that they don't have any energy. They don't have any power. The power of the Quran is not that physical book, brothers and sisters. There are people who operated without a Quran for quite a number of years. The power of the Quran is that we have a declaration that we can go to. How many, I don't know how many other religions have people who actually spend time memorizing the entire Quran. You know, I wrote a play one time, not a play, it was a skit called Quran Burner. And the premise of the skit was you saw a guy running down the street and he had another guy playing 3-card money. And the guy's running down the street and he has a bunch of Muslims chasing him. And he throws the Quran, he goes, hide it. I'm going to burn it later. He goes, hide it. And then he runs away and he gets away from people and he comes back. And he goes, well, where's the Quran? I said, what do you want to do with it? He goes, you want to burn it? I said, okay, well, it's under one of these shells. And he opened this, I put the Quran in the skit, put the Quran under a shell, moved around. He said that one. Said no. He said that one. Said no. He said that one. I said nope. They were all gone. He said, where's the Quran? I said, hey, man, the way I was learned was that the Quran was written on your heart, not in just a book. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to tighten up for this one because this is annoying, brothers and sisters. We had a weekend with Passover, Easter, and Ramadan, and a bunch of doggone foolishness. You're here on the Shout Out Show. Let's get it rocking. Thank you for attending. We'll be right back. All right. So before we get in that, I want to thank everybody. We had a great weekend. I don't know who was able to attend, but we had a wonderful weekend with brother Nader Khan. He came out, he did his thing on Saturday. If you didn't check it out, go to YouTube or Facebook and check that out. As well, just really, really good participation as this thing has moved along. We're in day 17, day 16 for some, but you know that Ramadan is halfway over. By the time we get to the end of this week, you were looking at the tail end of Ramadan going out of the door. So my suggestion to myself first and to you is like, hey man, try to make the most of it that you can. Tighten down on those days, get your days in, man. Let Allah bless you. All right. Talking about being blessed. Who we got in our shout out show family today? Let's go and bring them in. All right. We got Sister Reed. What's going on, Sister Reed? God bless you. Hope you're doing well. Peace and blessings to you and the family. I hope you had a good Easter. I know that Derek was traveling, working on the road, but we hope that Jawan came by and took care of his mom and made sure you had everything you wanted in terms of your palate and your menu. Indeed. Next up. All right, Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem, Mama Moss, how you doing? Talk about SOS family. Yes, you're getting pretty slick with that Arabic, Mom. I got to keep my eye out on you. Might bump to you at the masjid one day. We got somebody gonna take that shahad. I'm like, Ma, get up from down there. All right, I'm just joking. And shout out my hat sponsor is actually Mary Moss. She bought me a Washington Nationals hat because my other ones were tore up and dirty, and she bought them in my favorite color, red. And I just want to say thank you. And though the hats look fly, I think that the Washington Nationals, we're going to stink this year. Okay. But it's all about the support for the hat. Thank you, Mom. We appreciate you. Wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you. Next up. Well, there's my sister. Sister Sonia Salahuddin Dalton. What's going on, sister? Good to see you. Peace and blessings to you. I think you already know I'm always happy to see you. Did I give you the slang? Did I give my sister the greeting back? You see how my mind is rolling. I'm just so happy to see you. Peace and blessings to you and your family. Ramadan Mubarak. Glad to see you in the house. Love to find out what you're thinking about this subject matter. Okay, so we appreciate you. Next up, we got the other half. Bilal Salahuddin. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. He said they're in the same room today. Okay, you two are hilarious, man. I mean, you guys are the shout out show couple. You guys keep me laughing. But much shout out, much love to you guys. Always supporting the platform. Thank you so much. Next up, Altaf, Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down, our Canadian ambassador to the show. Hey, Altaf, I'm trying to remember if there was a case in Toronto where somebody tried to burn a Quran in Toronto back in the day. I'm trying to remember. I know here in the United States, we had a guy down in Florida, which I'll talk about briefly. His Quran burning went horribly, and I'll tell you why. Because Allah always says, if you're going to lie, let me show you the truth that you're lying about. And sometimes the truth is funnier than, the lie is funnier than the truth, but sometimes that truth is just hysterical. Brother, we appreciate you coming on the platform. Ramadan Mubarak to you. Hope you're having a good fast. Next up, my main man, Eric Carter. What's going on, brother? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak to you, beloved. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're getting ready to get down. We're going to talk about these fools trying to burn Qurans here in a minute. And I'm going to tell folks, if it's children in the room, you might want to send them to another room. I'm about to go 1975 NOI on this thing, so I hope you guys don't mind. Because I try to be nice, but sometimes nice don't work for folk. You just got to be honest. Look at Satana. Please don't do it. Don't do it. It's going to happen, Satana. Because we ain't weak like that. So let me give a shout out to my consultant producer who threw up her thing to make sure I would get distracted. Well, alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Satana doing a fabulous job. Again, shout out to Sister Satana for our Saturday spotlight. It was amazing. It was impactful. A lot of people had good comments after the show. And if you're not able to catch the show, we rebroadcast it. Go back and check it out. Are we rebroadcasting during Ramadan 30 for 30, Satana? Okay, not. Well, it's still on there if you want to go back and check it. All right. So here's the scenario. You have somebody who has absolutely no real knowledge of your religion. Thus, in that space, they have to figure out, or I like to say, a linchpin argument to make others believe what they're saying. Now, I've told everybody on his show that racists are not creative. White supremacists are not creative. Let me tell you the history of people who want to oppress other people. They are not creative. What it is they are observant. They're observant of whatever it is that gives you joy. They will take it, they will steal it, they will rob it, they will compromise it, they will legalize it against it, they will kill it, as long as they know that it does not bring you joy and any kind of fulfillment. So you have these people now who somehow got into the mindset, probably following, the aspects of the Danish cartoon and the shooting involving the other cartoonist. I forgot that. Pardon me, but it was right on the tip of my tongue. So you have some people that believe that those acts somehow show these people we are serious. But you show them that you're not serious. For the perpetrators of those actions who claim to be Muslim, that's between you and Allah, what you did is you showed that you are weak. You are just as weak as they are. Pardon my language. Hell with it. Y'all are moist. So we got a bunch of moist Muslims running around. We got a bunch of moist anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant dudes running around with no creative ideas. You know what I'm about to say. The game is whatever it is that's good about you, they disregard. Whatever that's bad about you, they highlight. And whatever it is they don't know about you, they make up. Nobody has ever tried to investigate what these people tell other folks who aren't Muslim about this Quran. Why it has so much power and redress in the Muslim community that we would absolutely lose our minds because, oh my gosh, but we're not those kind of people. If you look at Jude 17 today, it tells you that Muslims, brothers and sisters, endured 13 years of persecution in Mecca. 13 years. They asked permission to raise arms against the oppressors. I'm talking about this is a strategic clarity, if you will, understanding that doing these things will only make the situation better. Where would Black society be if every time we got upset, we gave you an emotional response? Some people say right where we are right now. But we're not people who are driven by emotional response. We have historical imperative that we pull on. Now that imperative is being challenged right now, but we need to address that. So before I go any further, I'm actually going to show you the video of this weekend. Now I want you to draw some clarity. I want you to be observant about what you see. Be observant about what you see. So Tana, please do us a favor.
Now in Sweden, unrest has been reported in several towns for the third day running since Quran burnings caused riots over the Easter weekend. In the Swedish town of Norrköping, at least 3 people have been hit by police bullets during clashes between the police and the protesters. Violent clashes sparked across the Scandinavian country in recent days by plans of a far-right group publicly burning copies of the Quran. The violence began last week after leader of Danish far-right political party organized a demonstration. The leader, named Rasmus Paludan, reportedly had permission for a series of demonstrations across Sweden during the Easter weekend. The person is known for burning Qurans. Ahead of a planned right-wing extremist demonstration, counter-protesters attacked the police in some places. Police and protesters then engaged in serious clashes here in a series of incidents in the southern city of Malmö. Several policemen have been reported injured. Litter bins, a bus and a car, they were all set on fire. Swedish police said in a statement, 3 people seem to have been hit by ricochets, adding none of the injuries were life-threatening. The police also said that the situation in Norrköping was calm on Sunday evening. Prime Minister has condemned the violence. Sunday's clashes in Norrköping were the second there in 4 days. On the first occasion, the demonstrators had protested against a rally by anti-immigration and anti-Islam group. Danish-Sweden politician Rasmus Paludan was to lead the rally, but he eventually abandoned it. Now, Paludan intends to stand in Swedish legislative elections in September, but he does not yet have the necessary numbers of signatures to secure his candidature. He is currently on a tour of Sweden. He is visiting neighborhoods with large Muslim populations where he wants to burn copies of the Quran. Now, Iraq's foreign ministry took note of the incident, calling it a provocation to the feelings of the Muslims. In the wake of the string of incidents, the ministry summoned the Swedish charge d'affaires in Baghdad as well. Iraq's foreign ministry warned that the affair could have serious repercussions on relations between Sweden and Muslims in general. That is, both Muslim and Arab countries and Muslim communities in Europe. WION is now available in your country.
All right, so now we have foreign countries going, this is bad. Now, I'm just shocked by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia issued a warning. Y'all killed a whole journalist and chopped them up. And y'all talking about, oh, that's bad. This is what I'm talking about, brothers. This is y'all want to be gangsterish where it suits your purposes. This is not an easy thing. I'm a comedian. First of all, the guy never really shows up to the rally. It's just us going out there acting a fool. And I want all the Muslims to know out there in Sweden, Sweden is a neutral country. Those police are not going to shoot at you. So you can feel emboldened, but if you're here in the United States, it'd be, and I'm going to tell y'all something. What you're doing is setting up a case against the police. Now listen, here are the facts against Brother Rasmus. I'm looking at this. I'm like, who is not looking at this? Brother Rasmus has a stalking case. In 2013, he was given a 5-year restraining order. Now I'm reading, I'm thinking, well, probably fell in love with a woman that rejected him, And then I keep reading. A 5-year restraining order forbidding him from contacting a then 24-year-old man who had been stalking since 2010. Rasmus, boy, you got some problems. Why are we chasing around a guy that likes men? Satana, put your fingers in your ears. Put your fingers in your ears. The boy is a straight up sissy boy. Sissy boys do this stuff to Muslims. You know why? Because this is a religion that says you can't do this. And we've been straight with it. We ain't chasing nobody down, but they pick on this religion and they say, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Look at them. Here in the United States, it'll reverberate and people go, look how they treated the people. And I'm like, this is not the case, brothers and sisters. This is a case of looking left but going right. This dude has a lot of issues. Burning Qurans is not his thing. He wants attention. More so, he wants male attention. And I don't mean it in the best way. What do I mean that? Here we go. Here we go. And he did some time behind one of these. He was accused of sexually charged chats with underage boys. In August 2021, it was revealed through an investigation by a Danish newspaper, Extra Bladet, that Paladin, through his Discord server, had been talking about hardcore fetish sex with minors. Now, how is it we keep giving this fool latitude? And I'm shocked, brothers and sisters, because he ain't rolling with no crew. He rolling with a couple of lackeys that's going to make sure they cover his back, that when he goes to the space and he may be able to give a speech, they'll be able to cover for him and clap for him. Yay, Rasmus. Yay. But Rasmus ain't coming around no real OGs. You soft, Rasmus. He's a moist guy, Rasmus. You can't come around folks like us. In fact, where's the creativity? You know what? If I knew he was going to sell Qurans, you know what? I give him 100 Qurans. Guess what? They all be soaked in water. Just to see my man try to light these Qurans in front of a crowd. He'd be like, hey, it ain't working. I know it ain't working because we're smarter than you. And I'm just talking about the resource aspect of this, brothers and sisters. We keep giving these people energy. And this is the point I'm going to make. It's more than just this guy that's coming after this Quran. It's more than just this guy that's coming after this community. He's an anti-whatever and whatever. But you have people who are not like him, but they are anti because Islam does not support certain issues regarding gender. And I want to be very, very careful to say that these things run very, very close, extremely close. Because if it tips this way, it tips this way. Now you have an argument that's splintered. And now you got to fight on three or four different boundaries in terms of defending this thing. The Quran is the truth. You can't burn the truth. You know what they say? It's the truth and whatever you want to make up. cool, man. If that's the way you get down, that's the way you get down. And please stop publicizing this guy. The only reason he's getting love is because we keep running out there being emotional. Guess what happens when he ain't trying to be out there, when nobody's out there, right? Think about this. When there's no one out there, there's no audience. The police are out there and they're defending nobody. They're not dealing with protesters at all. Think about that. Now I'm going to flip this around. Got a couple things. There you go. Sister Sonia said he deserves no time or energy. Also said we haven't had any attempts to burn mass amounts of Quran in Canada. We also have hate speech law in Canada. Well, Canada's advanced like that. That's why I like Canada. So I'm gonna show you guys a creative response, and this is hilarious. Don't cost you a whole lot of organization, a whole lot of money. You ain't got to put out a bunch of Facebook blasts. It's just that people who think know who they're dealing with. So we're gonna show the next video to show you how a group of people in Sweden, I don't even think they were Muslim, it doesn't matter, that a group in Sweden recognized the foolishness of this and they took it into their own hands. Let's go ahead and run it, Satana. Now, I believe I can actually play in that band. But you see the creative impetus that people are looking at. This guy's not serious. Unless you give these type of people a platform, they can't go anywhere. He's got wannabe man issues, want to get at men, boys issues. And for that, I don't want to mess with that. But clearly, deal with your real problems. Allah doesn't have time for this. We got enough things going on in the world that need to be addressing. So all you Muslims out there, wherever you are, stop being emotional. In the Quran, in Jude 17, it talks about the fact that even Jonah in the belly of the whale had the patience to wait and call on Allah's help. We are no different. In fact, the surah, the prophet, it speaks to everybody's individual struggle in terms of how they overcame it. Part of it is faith. The part of it is faith in action, meaning you're not hearing the other noise. You're not being distracted for what you've been told. It's been imprinted on your heart and it's been written in your book. This guy, if he read the Quran, and it happens so often, guys want to burn the Quran, then they read it and they go, wait a minute, this is a lot of logic that I've been missing in my life. And then they wind up somehow taking their shahada on Friday and Satana and getting booked to talk to Muslims about how they hated Muslims. But now I'm real talk. I'm not even gonna bring that up, but it's real talk. That's a whole nother series. But listen, I'm better to get out of here. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate you. I want to thank you guys for your patience. I've been a little bit under the weather, so sometimes the leaning on the seat, it may be annoying. But please, du'as are appreciated. I'm getting better, alhamdulillah. So thank you, everybody. You've been amazing. If we can remember this, I'm going to say it tomorrow. I'm going to ask for everybody's email. I think one of the shows that would really be fun as we head into the end of Ramadan is to bring people on the show. We did it a couple years back, and it worked out really well, except with my mother, because my mom can't work any technology. No, I love her. But I want everybody to come on and see each other. We have a community talk and just see how everybody's doing, all right? That's my show. You guys have been amazing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Satana, let's just fade to black.